I'm afraid there is bad news. This is not a death sentence. We are doing everything we can, but there's not an exact science to this. You will only hear bad news. This is a death sentence. You will think to yourself, we are everything, but not this. Cancer is when the abnormal cells grow and spread very quickly. Sometimes these cells group together, forming tumors, causing damage to the body's healthy tissues. Often, these cells break away, causing damage to other parts of the healthy body, and this is the best definition of gentrification I have. I live in Oakland, where they are tearing down old black bodies quicker than they can build up new high-rises. Death by crooked cop or crooked crane is all the same. Gentrification is killing us. When the new Oakland residents call the cops on the drum circle filled with people of color, they are trying to stop the black heartbeat. When they call the cops on the black church, which has been there for 65 years, for being too loud, they are trying to strip Oakland of its soul. To gentrify is to take the body and gut it. It is to treat the entire city like a chop house. And these butchers have no manners. They do not pray over the slaughtered. They do not even have the decency to make use of the entire carcass. There is no God in this. My stepfather was a pastor. And before that, he was a deacon. And before that, he was a football coach. And before that, he was a truck driver who delivered food items. He is a man who takes care of those who are not his own. He is a log cabin of a father. He is a high yellow, a patient man who sings like he's trying to call the cattle home. He thinks his voice is better than what it is. We let him sing anyway. Because soon it will go the same way of the house he raised us in, all memory no longer ours and no longer here. When my mother called me to tell me of his lymphoma, to tell me that he has a few months left to live, I immediately thought of the newly built high-rise for mixed-income families just up the street. The city does not care that black families will not be able to afford the $10 cup of coffee or to shop at the Whole Foods. The cancer does not care that the body will never be whole or that the body has a family. The city does not care about black families, does not care that the only space they have ever called home will be made to feel strange and foreign and out of place, that it will become too expensive to even breathe in. At this point, we will have to lower our dead into grounds they could not afford to live on. At some point, mixed income housing only prolongs the inevitable, and this is the best definition of chemotherapy I have. Meanwhile, my stepfather is still dying, and no one seems to be asking the important questions like how did we get here, and why is the body eating itself alive, and where did the God go in all of this? I am a burned down prayer in a broken church house. Without him, I never would have made it, which is to say, I am black and I feel helpless, and this is exactly what the cancer does. It pushes the God out of the body, and sometimes the body has neighborhoods for limbs, which is to say, when I played football for my stepfather, and we lost the semifinal game when I made my fists into wrecking balls waiting for any project to get into, he said, you can't get that one back, you know. Cry it out if you have to, but you got to keep your head up. Figure out a way to get him next time, he said. He is everything I can tell you about gentrification. Everything I know about